chopped off my wee-wee and died from loss of blood. Hey folks, I am Apu. It was Thanksgiving Day. I had just finished up with the turkey as well as stuffing the inside of the turkey. Holy cow, that turkey was amazing. I have never partaken in something so divine. Anyway, after the turkey was in the oven, it was time to chop up the vegetables. I like to cook with just an apron on, absolutely nothing else. So I was chopping up the carrots one by one. That was until one of the carrots was not a carrot. It was my wee-wee. I must have still been a bit excited from prepping the turkey before it was put in the oven. I was all alone this Thanksgiving, as usual. My wife was upset at me and went to her yoga instructor's house for the week. Unfortunately, there was no one to help me stop the bleeding and I died from loss of blood. This leads me to Apu's life lesson number 367. Always check your surroundings and make sure to be safe while handling sharp objects. The holidays can be dangerous, folks, so stay safe. Always learn from Apu's mistakes. Rat took a pee-pee on me and I died from leptospirosis. Hey folks, I am Apu. One day, me and the boys were out on the golf course. I was a few bottles of vodka into my day, so one of my shots was way off. As I went into the rough to retrieve my ball, I stumbled upon a massive rat. I tried to escape it, but I tripped due to my drunkenness. He ended up scratching me and then taking a pee-pee all over my leg. So the rest of my golf trip, I smelt like rat pee, but I still had a good time. So we went about our day of golf as usual. I actually played even better after that. I landed a couple birdies on a par 4. That was until the end of the day. I collapsed and ended up in a coma for 2 weeks and eventually led to my death. I died from leptospirosis, which is caused by getting urine or contaminated water getting in your eyes, nose, mouth, or broken skin. This leads me to Apu's life lesson number 34. Always prioritize your health, even on the golf course. If I had known the dangers of rat urine prior to my golf trip, I may have been still alive and swinging my club on the green. Stay safe, folks, and learn from Apu's mistakes. Traveled to another galaxy and brought back alien AIDS that wiped out humanity. Hey folks, I am Apu. Back when I was in college getting my PhD in astrophysics, I built a spaceship that traveled at light speed. The government wanted to suppress my invention, so they killed me. But that's a story for another day. So I took my spaceship to another galaxy and discovered an advanced alien civilization. I stumbled upon the Emperor's daughter, and she was absolutely beautiful. I just could not resist her, and she could not resist my young body. Anyways, we ended up making sweet love, but it turns out she was a very promiscuous woman, and I ended up contracting an intergalactic STD. When I came back to Earth, it spread rapidly and ended up causing an apocalyptic pandemic, which wiped out everyone on Earth, including me. This leads me to Apu's life lesson number 84. Always wear protection, even in other galaxies, because you never know where someone has been. Stay safe out there, folks, and always learn from Apu's mistakes. Fell asleep inside of an oven and burned to death. Hey folks, I am Apu. I have always suffered from narcolepsy. Back in my college days, I had a job at a metal factory. I was doing my daily tasks, but started to get very tired. I was also a bit hungover from the previous night after, but chugging a couple of bottles of vodka. One of the ovens was off, but still nice and toasty, so I decided to take a quick nap. Well, it turns out that would be the last nap I ever took. I ended up falling asleep my whole shift. One of my brainless co-workers decided to turn on the oven. He cranked it up to 600 degrees for 12 hours. Some people just do not think at all. I mean, why would he not think to check if someone was taking a nap in the oven? It's not like I am the only one that has taken a nap in there. Sorry for getting a bit worked up about this. Anyway, this leads me to Apu's life lesson number 17. Always make sure to have a good night's rest and never take a nap inside of an oven. Stay safe, folks, and always learn from Apu's mistakes. But chugged a bottle of vodka and died from alcohol poisoning. Hey folks, I am Apu. A few months back, I had a very important surgery. However, it required me to abstain from certain substances, such as my favorite thing to drink, vodka. I didn't see this as a big problem because back in my college days we used to, butt chug our drinks. So I asked my beloved wife if she would assist me so that I could get a quick buzz. This time, something went horribly wrong. I immediately felt a sense of relief to have some of Grandpa's cough medicine. That feeling only lasted about 30 seconds before I ended up collapsing on the floor. May God forgive me, because that was the final drink I would have before I unfortunately passed, leaving my beautiful wife and children in this world all alone. This leads me to Apu's life lesson number 72. Always drink responsibly, especially when butt-chugging vodka. Stay safe out there, folks. Always listen to Apu's life lessons and always learn from Apu's mistakes. I attached jumper cables to a cow heart so I could make love with it. Hey folks, I am Apu. During my college days, I had some very lonely times. I felt like I had no one because I didn't. On top of that, I was a tad bit mentally unstable. I took a trip to the slaughterhouse and ended up coming home with a cow heart. I felt some sort of connection to it. I could see the long and fruitful life it lived before it was taken by a butcher. I couldn't accept that this innocent creature was gone forever. So I tried hooking it up to my 1997 Toyota Corolla to bring it back to life. I tried and tried, but it did not work. So I decided to ramp it up a bit. I hooked it up to a 110-volt wall socket, and it worked. The heart was beating again. We just sat there with my Toyota Corolla and had deep conversations about life and love. That was when things went to another level. I seemed to have a problem with controlling my wee-wee, because after that, I attempted to touch it with my, and sadly passed. This leads me to Apu's life lesson, number 69. Sometimes you have to face reality. Life does not always go the way you want, and I should have accepted that. Stay safe out there, folks, and always learn from Apu's mistakes. I got locked inside of a freezer for getting a Mafia boss's daughter pregnant. Hey folks, I am Apu. Back in my young days, I was a bit on the crazy side. I did a bit of work in the Mafia and got tied up with some pretty bad people. And I also got tied up with the Mafia boss's daughter. More like tied in her. Long story short, I did not use any protection and ended up getting his daughter pregnant. One day I was doing a job at a meatpacking company. The boss seemed to be acting a bit weird that day, and I felt a bit uneasy. He asked me to go grab some meat from the freezer. I walked into the back of the freezer looking for what he told me. I looked but could not find it. I turned around to see him deviously grinning at me. At that moment, I knew it was over. Before I could utter a word, he said, "Maybe you should have found the meat before sticking your meat in my daughter," and slammed the door on me. I screamed endlessly, but after a couple hours, I was frozen just like the meat. This leads me to Apu's like lesson number 24. Always wear protection, because it is better safe than sorry. Stay safe out there, folks, and always learn from Apu's mistakes. I stuck my wee-wee in a toaster and was electrocuted to death. Hey folks, I am Apu. I usually like to start my mornings with a couple pieces of toast. I usually take a nice bath every morning and have my toaster plugged in right next to it. Well, this morning I was a bit hungover and made a very poor decision. So I toasted my bread as usual, but this time I got an idea. Rather than just putting the toast in there, I wanted to see if my wee-wee would fit as well. So I stood up and maneuvered my way into the toaster. It felt nice at first because it still had to heat up. So I began getting to work. Then it started actually toasting my wee-wee. That was when I flinched and dropped the toaster inside of the bathtub and sadly was electrocuted. No one was in the home. My wife was still staying the week at her yoga instructor's house. She must be getting a really good stretch. Anyway, this leads me to Apu's life lesson number 136. Be careful where you put your wee-wee. And a toaster is not a toy, so be safe. Stay safe out there, folks, and always learn from Apu's mistakes.